Hi, and welcome to I'm Hooked, your look inside the Astros AA affiliate, the Corpus Christi Hooks. More than half of Corpus Christi's population is Hispanic. With a thriving Latin American community, the Hooks need a voice to speak to it. Enter Eduardo Becerra, a veteran Mexican League broadcaster who wears his passion for the game on his sleeve. Welcome to Whataburger Field on a Saturday night. You got your Hooks Flex Fit caps from Hilliard, Munoz, and Gonzalez on the way into the ballpark tonight as the Hooks prepare for Game 3 of a 4-game series against the Frisco Rough Riders. Right-handed pitcher Aaron West started the season in the Hooks rotation, but after just 4 starts, he was asked to move to the bullpen. Michael Coffin explains how West's exceptional work in relief led to an unexpected phone call. Strength coach Mark Spadavecchia breaks down his job in simple terms.
We try to improve player performance, maximize individual player potential, and aggressively prevent injury.
But those goals are more easily stated than accomplished in a sport where there's a game nearly every night and injuries come into play.
We try to take a lot of things into account, like the travel, player recovery. We preach lifetime habits like eating right and rest.
Athletic trainer Grant Hufford says his day starts with hours of treatments and stretching to get players ready for that night's game.
Some guys need a hot pack just to warm up their shoulder. Some guys just need a massage to, get the blood flow to the muscles.
Whatever issues arise, Hufford says honesty is key.
I always tell them at the beginning of the year, if you come to me early and let me know what's going on, we can treat you and get you back out on the field. You might miss one day rather than a week.
There's some guys that are a lot more open than others. Some guys, you gotta look at signs if they're holding something funny or if there's anything different with their running.
On top of keeping the Hooks on the field, Hufford and Spadavecchia are charged with keeping the players in shape from March through September.
Well, we try to keep the reps at a certain range where you keep their strength and keep their power.
You try to go as heavy as you can, but you try to keep the reps low and you don't try to really burn yourself out too much.
Spadavecchia and most of the players named outfielder John Kemmer as the strongest player on the team.
I broke my jaw my sophomore year. I lost a lot of weight because I was kind of a chubby kid, and then I kind of didn't really want to get fat again, so I decided I was going to work out a little bit more, and I kind of fell in love with working out.
In addition to lifting weights, stretching is key to keeping players healthy.
And there's a certain point of flexibility that you want to have to prevent injury, so we always look at lifting through the full range of motion, not limiting reps, and trying to get strong through a shorter range of motion.
Danry Vazquez notes that outfielders need to be ready to go from a standstill to a dead sprint at the crack of the bat.
We gotta be stay healthy and be stretching every day, and try to stay warm to go to the outfield, because it's a tough job when you gotta run all the time. You gotta be ready to explode, to run.
But one of the biggest in-season adversaries, bus travel.
Our shortest trip here is 2.5 hours to San Antonio, but most of the time we're on the bus 5 to 7 hours. We might have played the night before and we're traveling all night, and those muscles will tighten up.
We gotta just stay focused after a long road trip, and try to be awake and try to do warm stuff. That way we can feel better to the game.
First up, Corpus Christi hosted the Texas League's marquee event of the summer, the 79th edition of the league's Midsummer Classic. The Hooks featured 7 South Division All-Stars. The Hooks contingent was joined by players, coaches, and executives from around the Texas League in Corpus Christi June 29th and 30th. The festivities kicked off with the All-Star Gala at the Texas State Aquarium.
We got an opportunity to talk to some of the guys that you usually don't talk to, actually from the opposing team. And it was a good touch.
Game day began with Fan Fest early in the afternoon, an event that included both teams signing autographs, games, music, and more. Hooks Director of Sales and Marketing Andy Stevens says the afternoon activities served as a thank you to the Hooks faithful.
Fan Fest was developed by a lot of our staff members. They wanted to give back to our fans, have something free and fun and interactive for our fans to be a part of before the game.
Once the on-field events got underway, it didn't take long for hometown fans to have something to cheer about, as Tyler White won the Home Run Derby.
It feels great to do it in front of the great fans here, and just come out here to have a good time, and that's what I did, and just got lucky and got into a groove.
The All-Star game didn't go quite as well for the home team, with Jorge Bonifacio's long ball lifting the North Division to a win. Tulsa skipper Razor Shines, who managed the North Division, says Bonifacio was deserving of the MILB Top Star Award.
He hit a 2-run homer to give us the lead in the 7th or 8th inning, one of the two. And, that's a huge hit. Broke the game open for us.
From start to finish, fans, players, and executives say the event was a success.
You have a lot of moving parts with these games. We plan this event basically throwing everything we can at it. You know, we think of it not a baseball game, but an actual show. It's not just a game. It's about entertaining our fans for 3 to 4 hours, and I think we get that across to them.
The All-Star game was special because it was, for me, because I got to manage it and we were here. We were at our park, and it was at Corpus Christi.
I thought it was tremendous. I thought everything was ran properly. The people here put on a good show. I mean, it was a lot of stuff to do, and in the game, it was just a showcase of talent.
As we continue to count down for the Hooks and Midland Rockhounds tonight on PGA Night, presented by Radiology Associates, we are joined by a PGA Tour champ, Phil Blackmar. Phil, thanks for stopping by and being a part of the festivities tonight.
My pleasure. Glad to be back here.
Now, what is your role in tonight's festivities?
Well, I'm sitting at a sign-up table up there right now where you can sign up for some different prizes, which you listed a few minutes ago. In addition to, we're going to have a closest to the pin contest following the game before the fireworks, and generally just kind of hanging out, having a good time, watch a little baseball.
Now, some of these we're giving away some pretty good stuff. I mean, it's worth people's time to go up there and meet you and sign up for it.
Well, Marty Lagnori is giving away some lessons, and she's an extremely good teacher, and so whoever wins that is very, very lucky. And of course, there's a round of golf at La Palmilla. You know, has to be the best golf course in the area, I think, and just it's going to be a lot of fun.
Sammy and Rusty are decked out in their golf attire. Sammy would like us to, I think, stop the interview right now. No, let's go Hooks. That's more like it. But Phil, you're a PGA Tour veteran, won 3 tournaments while on tour. What's the pressure like when you head into Sunday in a position to contend for a title?
Well, you know, the pressure is just like the same pressure these guys face. These guys are trying to earn their way up to play, Major League Baseball and make it to the show. And there's pressure anytime, whether you're there or not, trying to get there or not. And actually, the thing that really, I think, dictates whether or not somebody makes it successfully in any professional sport is how you deal with pressure. And I had a chance to interview Wayne Gretzky a couple years ago and asked him that very question. And I loved his answer. He said the secret to dealing with pressure is you have to embrace it. You can't hide from it. You can't do things to avoid it. You have to embrace it, and I think that's the best thing the best advice you could have.
Now, how much of a challenge is it with golf being an individual sport as opposed to maybe a team sport to make sure you stay out of your own head and kind of keep that focus?
Well, there's 2 ways to look at that. One is that you've got a team that can back you up and make up for your mistakes, but at the same time, maybe they make mistakes and ruin what was a good contest for you. So it goes both ways. The hardest thing about golf as it relates maybe to a team sport or like baseball is that in golf, they can't take you out. If somebody, if the pitcher's having a bad night or somebody in the field's having a bad game, they can take you out and put somebody else in your place, and you're actually kind of happy that happens. But in golf, you're out there for the duration. They can't take you out. That's kind of tough sometimes.
You're a UT Golf alum. Another UT Golf alum is having some great success on the PGA Tour right now, Jordan Spieth. What have you seen from his game, and what has made him successful at such a young age?
Well, I think that the biggest thing that Jordan is that he has an uncanny ability to do exactly the question that you asked earlier, and that is to deal with pressure. If you watch him, he is not somebody who is afraid to look at a scoreboard or afraid to know how he stands. He embraces the pressure. He enjoys the pressure. He wants the ball with the game on the line, basically. And I think that's the biggest thing that Jordan Spieth has to offer, and it's very unusual to find someone at 21 years old that is capable of that. But he's got a very well-rounded game, and I really, really think he's going to have an incredible future.
Moving on to tonight's post-game closest to the pin contest, one guy I know you would like to take on is on the disabled list per se right now. That's Hooks president Ken Schramm, but you've played with him a couple of times.
I have seen Schramm. He just got a new hip 3 weeks ago, and he's doing really, really well with that. The thing that I always wondered about Schramm, and maybe it was because of his hip, I don't know. He's a professional athlete, a former major league pitcher, and usually guys that play baseball for a living, when they hit a golf ball, they got a little zip on it. They may not know where it's going. They may hit it 2 fairways over, but they got some zip. Schramm got no zip. He powder puffs it out there. I'm like, what's up with that, man? You're a big guy, used to pitch in the majors. You got no zip.
All finesse.
It's all finesse.
Well, he will not be.
It's a straight.
I mean, I guess you'd rather be accurate than hit it on to another fairway.
If you look at the stats on the PGA Tour today, it's more about how far you hit it, not how straight you hit it. Only 8 players last year hit 70% of the fairways. It's more about distance. Schramm, you need to work on hitting it further.
Well, maybe you can get him on a golf weight training program for you guys. But lastly, this closest to the pin contest tonight, you're hitting against a few local golf pros, but maybe the most intriguing name to the fans will be former Hooks manager and now Hooks infield coach Tom Lawless.
Yeah, Tom actually is a very good player. He has a nice pair of hands on him, which you would expect from a former infielder. He actually is a very, very good player, and I expect Tom, if he doesn't get too nervous, if he can handle the pressure, if he can step up to the plate and handle the pressure, I think he's going to hit a really good shot. It'll be fun to see.
All right, well, we'll look forward to that following tonight's game. Phil, thanks for stopping by.
Yep, thank you, Chris.
Phil Black.